I've been playing that game. It's called The Last of Us. Big game right now. And it's seriously one of the first pieces of media to finally get like a gay relationship right. And
They got it right.
Yeah, cuz it's not about like, oh, they need to come out to the family, or it's like the whole story is about their gayness. Instead, it's like they're just gay, and that's fine, you know? And like there is a romance between these two ladies, but it's not a big deal. It's
Oh,
just,
they're ladies.
Yeah,
Would you be as accepting of it if it was two dudes?
absolutely. Yeah.
I don't believe that.
The reason it's ladies is because in the first game, you play a 14-year-old girl. Well, it's complicated. It's a great game. You play a guy, and you have to like transport this girl across the country, and throughout the game, you grow this like father-daughter relationship, and it's really beautiful and like heartwarming. Also gruesome, one of the most gruesome games I've ever played. And the second one is it's 4 years later. Now she's 18, and she has to like avenge his death.
And she avenges his death by hooking up with a chick?
Well, it just happens. Instead of you crossing the country with Joel, her like father figure, you're crossing the country with her girlfriend.
Jolene.
Her name is Dina.
Oh.
It's fine.
Honestly, when you guys had your other video gaming podcast, you guys talked so much about The Last of Us, The Rest of Us, The All of Us, The Any of Us. You guys, I'm not even a gamer. And I hate that game because of the fact that everything you guys talked about was The Last of Us, The Rest of Us, The Most of Us, The All of Us.
Well, it just came out this week, and it's been 6 years, 7
You
years?
guys have been talking about The Last of Us for 25 years.
Yeah, it came out 7 years ago. It's the best game ever made. They're making it a seriously, though, they're making it a show on HBO right now.
Oh, that's going to work out
Yeah,
great.
it's probably going to be shit, but just play the game. It's so good. It's
No.
You could play it on like easy difficulty. You could probably beat it in like 8 hours. It's like a TV show.
I'm obsessive compulsive, man. If I get into video games, I will be literally the comic book guy out of The Simpsons. I wouldn't work for the comic book store, but I would be 400,000 pounds, have a weak, unimpressionable mustache, and just playing video games all the day. It would become my drug.
It's really a touching story, and I hate to explain it because it's like a zombie game, but it's not like most zombie games because it's not about the zombies. It's about the relationships.
Describing a video game, playing it because it has a lovely story, is the equivalent to saying, I read a porn magazine for the bios.
That's not true.
Come on,
dude.
man.
It's not
You
true.
play it because it's fun. You don't play it because it has a great story. You play it because
fun.
things go boom and rat-a-tat-tat.
There's a lot of story in it, though. It's really good. Video games are a form of art, dude. There's a game called What Remains of Edith Finch, and it's literally a quote-unquote walking simulator where there's no, like, shooting or anything. You just walk around, and it just tells you a story, and it's beautiful. And it's so much more immersive than, like, a TV show because you're actually the one controlling it, you know? Video games are great. It's just another form of art. What is up, boyos? Welcome to the Jake and Cory podcast. I am Jake. That is Cory. What is up, Cory?
What's up, Jake?
Oh, man. That's got to be one of the longest intros we've ever done.
Yeah. Got half the show done in the intro.
Well, for anyone that doesn't know, me and Cory just did a deep dive. It was posted on Thursday last week. Definitely go check it out. super interesting. You get to learn more about my boy Cory over here, more about Fat Guy Radio Show, which we don't talk about too much on this show. But, I had a good time. How'd you feel about it?
I haven't watched it back yet.
That's rude. First of all, that's rude.
It just dropped 2 days ago. And I'm sorry, I've been in search for work. So I haven't had a chance to watch it back yet. But it was fun.
Yeah, I had a good time. I thought it was swell.
Swell? It probably won't do as good as your other. And I haven't watched it back yet. I haven't done any cross promo on it yet. But when I introduce it to the Fat Guy Radio Show, Fatnatics, I'm sure that they'll come out and support.
Is that what you call them, the Fatnatics?
Yeah. They're not fanatics. They're Fatnatics. And every time we say Fatnatics, do you remember Pee-wee's Playhouse, the TV show?
I do.
Yeah, every time we say the word Fatnatics on the show, we have that Pee-wee's Playhouse scream. Like during the show, Pee-wee's Playhouse, when you said the magic word, the secret word, you'd have that, ah! So every time we say Fatnatics, we hit the Pee-wee's Playhouse scream. And anytime someone who's streaming the show live comments the word Fatnatics, we hit the scream.
What was the name of that Pee Wee Herman movie that was directed by Tim Burton?
Pee-wee Goes to the Movie.
Or Pee Wee's Big Adventure? Is that what it was?
Oh, yeah. Pee-wee's Big Adventure made an appearance in the movie theater. Remember when what is his name? Paul
Rubens.
Paul Rubens. He exposed this Big Adventure.
Oh, yeah, in the movie theater, yeah.
In the movie theater. And unfortunately, that was back in the day where, cell phone pictures weren't as popular as they are now. Now, when you have someone that goes out and does something inappropriate, there's always some type of video or photo footage.
Do you think he has a big dong?
I don't know. I've never really taken a full look at Paul Rudd, but you know where Paul Rudd has been resurfacing? Ruben. Do you know where Paul Schaefer has been resurfacing a lot?
The Letterman show?
No, on the remake of Whose Line Is It? I think it's Whose Line Is It? It's the game show that just relaunched, and it's hosted by the star of Blackish, Anthony Anderson.
Oh, okay.
Who absolutely drives me insane. And
he was in Kangaroo Jack.
Yeah, Paul Rubin has been resurfacing on that show. Whose Line Is It? And he
Whose
goes
line is it anyway?
Not Whose Line Is It Anyway? I'm going to Google. Good Lord.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
Google it.
I don't expect anybody else to do any. Anthony Anderson. I'm trying to figure out what that show is. See, this is where I miss, having an executive producer
who could just search these things. Yeah,
they would figure this stuff out. Yes, he was in Kangaroo Jack. I'm trying to find out come on, Google.
You ever see Kangaroo Jack?
No.
That movie is great. It's horrible.
Oh, the game show is To Tell the Truth.
Oh, okay.
Have you heard of this or have you seen it?
Never.
Okay.
Not once.
To Tell the Truth is that they take three people. One person has sworn to tell the truth. The other two people are there to pretty much lie, but they are to deceive a panel of 4 celebrities who are trying to figure out who is actually telling the truth. So they'll have 3 people up there that all claim to be, I swam with sharks for 40 days. And it's up to the celebrity panel to figure out who is the actual person who swam with sharks for 40 days.
Oh, that's like that one show, the Guess Who the Celebrity Is or whatever.
Something like that, but these are everyday people, so it's kind of swapped. The celebrities are guessing, and the people on the people that they're trying to guess are just, everyday individuals. So Paul Rubin has been on that show To Tell the Truth several times.
Gotta make that money.
Posing as one of the people that are claiming to have done something. So he's going on posing as one of the liars.
Oh, really? So he's not even a celebrity.
Yeah, they don't even put him on the celebrity side. They put him on the side of the contestants. So
that's how far he's fallen.
So it's always someone that's like in costume. So they had a panel where the celebrities had to guess who is the 2019 national championship of cosplay. So all of the contestants had on their cosplay costumes. Well, Ruben stuttered. I'm going to get his name eventually. So Paul Da Vinci was on the panel, and he had a cosplay costume that was covered, most of his face, and it was huge and it was bulky. And then at the end of the game, when they reveal who the truther is, the two liars introduce themselves too. And Paul Rubens stands up and says, "I'm not the cosplay champion, but I am the former Pee Wee Herman." And he pulls up his mask, and the crowd goes wild, and then they shuffle him back off to the senior citizens facility.
He is a great character actor. In all fairness.
But he's doing game shows now, and he's not even on the celebrity panel. He's on the contestants panel, undercover.
You got to make that money somehow, I guess. When you've fallen that far, the dude literally got arrested, right, for exposing his junk. He's probably a registered sex offender.
Is his name Paul? What is his name? Paul Rubin?
I think it's Paul Rubens, unless I have it wrong. It's not Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd's the dude that's in all those Judd Apatow movies.
Yeah, it's Paul Rubens. When I Googled him, it Google popped up Paul Rubens' death. He's not dead. He's still alive, and he's tall. I didn't realize he was 5'10".
He's dead to me. You think 5'10" is tall?
Yeah.
I'm 5'11". Seems pretty average.
You're taller than me.
That seems pretty average.
5'11" is not average.
I'd say tall is like Shaquille O'Neal, who's 7'2".
No, that's enormous.
That's substantial.
The average height of an American is 5'7", 5'8".
Is it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. You're above average, Jake.
That's right. Look at these hands. They're bigger than Trump's.
You know what they say about guys with big hands?
Small penises.
Nope, they wear big gloves.
Oh. So AMC theaters, you want to talk about this? Seems like
yeah, because I saw this story pop up on Facebook, and I was because of your love for movies, and we've talked about the movie theaters during this whole pandemic and the shutdown and so forth. And so AMC Theaters has some breaking news that I think, Jake, you may have called this on a previous episode of them garnering the online streaming service.
I think you were the one that called that. I kind of think that it doesn't make much sense because I heard about this, that they're starting AMC is all over the news. There's so many things that happened with AMC over the past week.
Yeah, ever since I sent you that story, AMC has grown hairs to the point where I think I even sent you a screen capture of them trending.
Yeah,
on Twitter.
We'll probably even spend most of this show just talking about all the AMC controversies.
It's nuts, man. It's nuts, but it might work to their benefit.
But the one thing is, they're struggling for just avoiding closing completely. So one of their moves was to start a streaming platform. I don't know anything about it, really. Did the article say a launch date or anything like that?
I don't remember seeing.
I didn't see anything like that. But I can't imagine it doing very well because what does AMC have that a Hulu, a Netflix, an HBO Max, what do they have to bring? What can they bring to the table that these other competitors won't? You know what I mean?
I don't think it's them trying to compete. I think that this is a marketing strategy that quite often doesn't work very well, where you're not competing, but you're running alongside, hoping to pluck off a bit of the market of streaming services. There are diehard AMC fans that are out there. There are people, and I'm not a big, huge movie buff, but I do have a AMC Premiere StubHub's membership because I like the perks that I do get to experience when I go to a theater.
Yeah.
But I don't think that AMC is trying to set themselves apart from the Hulus and the Netflixes and the Amazon Video. I think what they're attempting to do is to garner a portion of the market of online streamers.
You know what it seems like to me? It seems like a Hail Mary. You remember
Yeah.
You remember Blockbuster? I mean, I think most people remember Blockbuster.
Yeah, they did. They had a very limited porn section.
They did, and that went away towards the end too. But
I know. That's why they folded.
The one thing that Blockbuster tried to do before they closed was they tried to do the Netflix thing where they were starting to ship out movies like Netflix did back in the day.
Yeah, Netflix used to mail you DVDs.
And they also did the Redbox thing where they had their little Blockbuster hubs.
Yellow box.
And it was like, what is, why would I go to Blockbuster when Netflix has been in the game longer and doing it better and more efficient with more selection, and same with Redbox. They've been doing it longer, more efficient. They have the know-how. With Blockbuster, it's like they seemed like they were just trying to stay alive. And that's how I feel about AMC starting a streaming service. Because them starting a streaming service, I mean, first of all, like, what is the content even going to be on an AMC streaming service? Like, they don't have any original content, and they don't have the money to make new original content or the time to make it. I just feel it's like we're going to pick up whatever the fuck we can and put it on the streaming service, and hopefully we get a few thousand people to purchase this just to keep our doors open.
Interestingly enough about Blockbuster, and that happened so long ago that I actually studied the Blockbuster effect, and there are books out there about Blockbuster's business model miscue. The thing is that Netflix wasn't around very long before it killed the video rental houses. And Blockbuster in particular had more than enough warning of this streaming thing coming, of this get a DVD in your mailbox service. They had way long of a heads up that this was coming and that this was happening. And Blockbuster hedged their bets on the fact that their diehard market is going to continue to come to their stores. They weren't, streaming wasn't prevalent back then. YouTube wasn't prevalent back then. So Netflix was groundbreaking in all of this. Amazon was barely getting off the ground when a lot of this happened. So Blockbuster saw this as a non-threat. Blockbuster saw this as, okay, you just built a McDonald's across the street from a Jack in a Box. There are going to be people that are going to be diehard McDonald's fans, and there are going to be people that are going to be diehard Jack in a Box fans. We're both going to be able to share in the market. Blockbuster never foresaw the fact that streaming, internet services, on-demand services, app development, Apple's iPhone development, they didn't foresee all of that coming. So they missed the boat, and by time they tried to react to the market shift, the Titanic was already in two. It had already hit the iceberg. So Blockbuster didn't have a chance. What AMC is doing, from my vantage point, is that I don't think they're going to be able to set themselves apart from the other streaming services. I think they're just trying to get in the game to give them some type of revenue stream, no matter how small it's going to be. But that small revenue stream is going to be 10 times better than no revenue stream, which is what they have right now. Maybe AMC with their online on-demand movies, maybe they're going to strike some deals with some of these studios that will release movies specifically to AMC for their on-demand. I don't know. I don't see that this on-demand service with AMC is going to stay around long, because when I went to their website, in a big, huge red banner right across the top, it says most theaters will reopen 7/15 with your health and safety in mind. Then you hear about their on-demand streaming. I don't think this is around to stay. I think it's a Hail Mary.
So reading about it, it looks like right now they had like a kind of shitty AMC free streaming service before, but now they just announced AMC Plus. And the interesting thing about it is AMC Plus is only available for Comcast customers, meaning they're limiting their market even more, but they probably did that because they have some sort of deal with Comcast, where Comcast is paying them some sort of
like
fee.
when the iPhone was released, it was only available with AT&T.
Right.
And that I think that's definitely going to cut them short, because if they look at the playbook of Apple eventually had to wait out that contract with AT&T, and soon as they got that phone available on multiple cellular provider platforms, the sales of the phone skyrocketed. So AMC may be having that deal right now with Comcast, which I believe is the worst company you could possibly deal with.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's further proof to me that this service is not built to stay around forever.
Yeah, and it seems like a streaming service, most streaming services play the long game, right? Where you can look at Netflix and you can see that technically they're in a lot of debt because they've taken so much money out to make so much original content. But it's because they're playing the long game and they want to have all this content. So then in the future, people won't cancel their Netflix subscriptions and they can just keep bringing it in. Whereas this is more of like, we need this money now, which is why they're making a deal with Comcast so they can get as much money as possible right now. It looks like what's on AMC Plus includes original series from AMC and sister networks like Sundance TV and IFC.
So stuff that we can see on Comcast anyway. So
Yeah.
they're
early premieres on demand,
repurposing.
along with streaming services like Shudder, Sundance Now, IFC Films Unlimited. And the package is only $4.99 per month. So I don't see how that's even going to really help them. They must just have a good deal with Comcast.
It sounds like they're just reshuffling stuff that you can see if you have a Comcast package that includes IFC, that includes the Sundance TV channel. I don't see any purpose in that. They're just going to reshuffle stuff that you're going to get that you're already paying an arm and a leg for with Comcast service. I don't see a selling point in that.
Yeah, it makes no sense. I smell doom for AMC. They were worried that they couldn't open. Maybe this gives them a little bit more leverage to stay open, just so they can keep their business afloat until everything reopens. But they're getting a lot of backlash just on their reopening tactics.
Well, just real quick before you get to that, the interesting thing is when I went to the AMC Theaters website and I went to their AMC Theaters on Demand, right under the red bar that says the theaters are going to be opening, their ad and their imaging for AMC Theaters on Demand has a guy holding his cell phone up to his daughter, but the movies that are surrounding him are old-ass movies. Toy Story 4, Jumanji, the original Jumanji, the original Lion King. That's not even, the imaging isn't placating to the fact that this is something new and different. This is not the long game. This is a short game. This is a Hail Mary. And, for a company that has been hemorrhaging money for the last 3 months, I can understand it. But I think their efforts could have been, focused in a different manner. Maybe possibly getting their CEO to make better decisions about how they reopen.
Yeah.
It's putting that out there.
So the big thing was, I think it was last week they announced that they're going to be reopening. I think sometime in July. I think you said the 17th, right?
Most theaters July 15th.
15th. Okay. So their plan was to reopen on the 15th, and they had no mention of having to wear masks. They did say that they want to space people out, but they didn't, no mention of masks or anything like that. And trending on Twitter, it became on Thursday was hashtag boycott AMC. Became it was trending on Twitter for a while because it doesn't seem like they're taking any efforts at all to keep their patrons safe. So later that week, they announced, okay, we're going to require all of our patrons to wear masks now. They said, we want to listen to the customers and all of that. And he said, we did not want to be drawn into political controversy. We thought it might be counterproductive if we force mask wearing on those people who believe strongly that it is not necessary.
It wasn't even a few days later. It was literally less than 24 hours that the AMC CEO, Adam Aron, did an about face on the mask thing. It was immediate that social media went in on these because there is no other place more intimate other than a theater. And theaters are notoriously disgusting. That's why they keep the lights down.
Well, and they're like small and enclosed. You know,
my
everyone's
fat ass
sitting
can
in there.
barely fit in the seats.
Yeah, it's small and enclosed. Everyone's in these small theaters together. There's a few larger theaters in AMC, but most of their theaters are pretty small. And, you know, just being inside, basically spitting and touching on everyone. And you know why they don't want people to... I know why they don't want people to wear masks. And I
think I know why they don't want people to wear masks either.
And I think, you know, they said it's because we don't want the political controversy, which is the stupidest quote of all time. Fuck your political controversy.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, fuck your political controversy. The safety of your patrons should come first. The reason they don't want you to wear a mask is because they want you to go to that concession stand and they want you to buy that soda, that popcorn, all the stuff, but you're not going to go there if you're wearing a mask. So
bingo.
That is totally 100% the reason why they don't want people wearing masks, because it even sounded like they didn't want people to wear masks in the original statement.
If you wear a mask, you can't drink their $7 sodas.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't eat their $10 popcorn. And those are small sizes, folks. And there's no surprise that theater concessions are really expensive. But this is clearly the reason why they didn't want to do it. AMC doesn't make their money off of ticket sales alone. They make it off of the concessions.
Yeah.
And what does the mask do? It directly affects people's ability to consume concessions.
The way movies make money, because we all know that opening weekend box office, most of that money goes directly back into the pockets of the filmmakers, right? They
sure.
And I think with AMC, most movie producers, the way it works is the first, like, I think it's 3 weeks, like 90% of the funds go to the filmmakers. And then after that 3 weeks, most of the money goes to the movie theater. But that, you know, after those 3 weeks, most people aren't seeing that movie anymore anyway. So the way they make all their money is by having all these people in for opening weekends to basically go to their concession stands where they mark everything up substantially. And that's how they make most of their money. So if people are wearing masks, they're probably looking at it like, oh fuck, like we're not going to make like any money reopening. In fact, They could end up they may be running at a loss. So I could understand the concern of them and why they're thinking the way they're thinking, because they don't want their business to shut down. But also, fuck them, dude. Like, it's more important that people stay safe, I think.
We are seeing, as this pandemic wails on, we are seeing and realizing something that has been there the whole time. Profits over people. Profits over people. The almighty dollar is worth more than our individual lives.
Yeah.
That has been clear from the start. I don't understand how and why people politicize the fact that you have to wear a mask. It's just a mask. I was talking to my buddy the other day, and he says it's one. He narrowed it down, and I didn't even realize this because for weeks I've been trying to wrap my head around why people get so upset about mask. And he said it very clearly, very poignantly, because people don't like to be told what to do.
Yeah, especially in America.
It's the only thing. People don't like to be told what to do. And you do, if people, and it's just a mask. It's not, they're not asking you to wear the mask around your house unless you feel unsafe in your house.
Right.
It's just a piece of cloth. You wear pants to cover up your junk.
Right.
Nobody has to tell you to do that, but you do it because it's what? It's right. A mask is not going to stop you from making money. A mask is not going to stop you from making friends. A mask is not going to stop you from communicating with people. It's just a couple of layers of fabric that cover up, breaking news whenever it feels like breaking. A mask is designed to cover up your mouth and your nose for all you idiots out there. If I see one more picture of somebody walking around with a mask on their mouth with their nose exposed, you're an idiot. And if you can't breathe, you shouldn't have your ass outside. No way.
It's not like you have to wear it all the time. And people aren't, our government isn't necessarily forcing you to do it. But AMC can, because they are a private business. And if
just like Costco.
Right.
Just like Costco.
And we're seeing it more and more that places are saying you need to wear a mask to come into our business.
But it should be common sense to wear a mask when you're outside of your home.
Yeah.
Common sense. It's like you don't go out and check your mail in the nude if you live in a high populated area.
And that's all fine. Well, to be fair, that is a law. So, but it is a law to wear
because
clothes.
I guess because people are just so stupid that they were a lot of people. I mean, I did it once.
I got drunk once, but you're right. It should be common sense, but there are people that don't know 2 + 2 is 4. You know what I mean? So
but you do realize that when we're masking up, we should not, here in Arizona, we should not have had to force the hand of the politicians to do something that is just pretty much common sense. Yeah. And it's proof that we really don't care about our neighbors. Because when you wear a mask, if it's not an N95 mask, you're not wearing it for you. You're wearing it for someone you may encounter that may be vulnerable. So this is just another layer of the fact that we don't give two shits about our neighbor. We don't care about other people. We care about ourselves. We care about our own comfortability. You wear the mask, folks, for someone else, and then they're wearing the mask for you.
And I would
shits.
I would like to talk about Arizona in a second, though. I want to keep talking about this movie stuff for just a moment, but I want to talk about Arizona because we live in Arizona and it's kind of a hotbed right now. But we'll talk about that in just a second. Just like another thing that may be freaking out AMC is they decided to reopen on, I think you said July 15th, which the reason they decided to open on that date is because a big movie coming out that Friday was the movie Tenet, directed by Christopher Nolan, the great Christopher Nolan. That was supposed to be like the first big movie coming out. Well, they decided to push it back because coronavirus is bad. So they moved it to the 31st, which granted, that is only like 2 weeks. But still, 2 weeks of running with no new movies, like what even is the point? Their plan is to like show, like Toy Story or Saving Private Ryan or whatever the fuck they're going to be showing. But like, who's actually going to go? And why would you go to the movie theater just to watch some old ass movie? Like, what's the point? Why risk it?
Dumb people will. Dumb people will say, the movie theater, they back open, honey. Load up in the pickup truck. We gonna go see a movie. People are going to go to the theaters just because the theaters are back open. Bottom line. Yeah. Bottom line. It's the same thing when the bars open back up here in Arizona. You could clearly go get beer from the grocery store. You could have beer delivered to your house. But as soon as the bars open their doors back up, people said, hey, the bars are open back up. Let's go get something to drink at the bar. So when AMC opens up their doors, even 2 weeks before that big movie release, whether they have new movies or not, there are going to be a segment of people that are going to go back to the theater because of the fact that they can. No other reason, just because they can.
It's interesting that Christopher Nolan was very gung-ho about pushing out his movie on the 17th, and he actually still seems upset that they decided to push it. And I'm kind of with him, just in the fact that what is 2 weeks gonna do? What's different about the 31st? If you're gonna release it, you might as well just release it. I honestly think it's just like, dude, fuck it. Like, don't put your movie out until like next year. Like everything.
Does he even have that pull
that
at
power?
This point? Yeah, he's cut the movie. The movie's ready to roll out. I think it's more on Warner Brothers at this point.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Does the studio take over when the movie is going to be released? Christopher Nolan has no more to say about it.
Yeah, very evidently. He's
filled his contractual agreement. So what he made the movie. Warner Brothers, the studio, is controlling it now.
The thing that confuses me is you'd think that more movie studios would be like, okay, we don't want AMC to shut down because AMC is a big reason that we make so much money. And you'd think that more of these movie studios would actually take initiative on like, hey, let's donate to AMC. They've helped us all these years. Let's help them. But that's just not the way business works, apparently. But you'd think right now that would actually be a good look for them. And if these movie studios did do that, AMC wouldn't be like forcing out like, hey, let's reopen, let's do it without masks. They wouldn't even be thinking like that because these movie studios would be helping them. So it really confuses me why these movie studios don't do that. Like Disney has more money than God. Like there's no reason that they can't donate a couple million to keep AMC theaters open. There's no reason Warner Brothers...
A couple of million wouldn't do anything for AMC theaters right now when they've lost $2.2 billion.
Right, but if Disney donated like 10 million, if Sony donated another 5 million, if Warner Brothers donated another 10 million, now we're starting to get some numbers. And this could be a moment to see all these movie studios standing up together and saying, we care about the art form of showing a movie in a theater, and we don't want to see that go away. So that's why we've decided to back AMC. That's why we've decided to help out Harkins Theaters. That's why we've helped Cinemax or whatever the fuck. Cineplex, rather.
Right.
And I don't understand why we don't see more of that. I don't understand why we don't see bigger companies like Walmart saying, hey, we're going to donate to these smaller businesses because we believe that smaller businesses are important. It'd be a good look for them. It would help the smaller businesses. It would get them more business now because they're the companies that are still running. And it's a good PR look. I don't understand why they don't do it. And it's because they don't want to just waste the money. and it's not taxable or whatever. It's not, you can't use it as a tax refund because it's not a technical donation. But I don't know, man. It's frustrating that because of the systems we have in place and the way capitalism works now, these businesses all feel like they're competition to each other, when in reality they should be working in tandem. Because if they help each other out, then that just makes them bigger and better. You know, we could see more that, you know, maybe Disney wouldn't be as big as they were, but we would have, instead of Disney being this big guy and Sony being down here, we might have a bit more equal playing field if people actually just tried to help each other out. And maybe I'm being a bit too optimistic here and trying and I don't even know if what I'm saying makes sense, but it just doesn't make sense to me that these companies wouldn't try to help each other out when AMC has been helping them out for years. Like I said, they have a deal that if their movie releases there, you know, the first 3 weeks, most of the money goes to these blockbuster movies and not to AMC. They made that deal. You know, they didn't have to make that deal. I don't know.
What you're explaining is something that's very rare in business, but you're right. Like it would be the equivalent to.
It's only rare in business because that's the model we have set up, and
yeah,
maybe it's time to change.
Yeah, and it's like Walmart going out and supporting local farms.
Yeah,
you know, it's the same concept. I want to harken back to something as you were speaking. I was kind of focusing on the what you were saying, but a side thought, the timeline of that 2 weeks before the Christopher Nolan release with AMC. Do you think that AMC is hedging their bets on the fact that when their doors open on July 17th, that 2 week time frame is going to be a lot of people going to their online streaming service, and then once they realize that online streaming service isn't everything it's cracked up to be, they'll return to the theater, and that'll take them about 2 weeks to figure that out?
I don't know, man, because the thing is like you'll get the AMC thing, the streaming service, and you'll get it for a month, and you won't be like, oh man, this sucks, I want to go to a movie theater. You'll be like, oh man, this sucks, I'm going to go to HBO Max. Oh man, this sucks, I'm going to go to Netflix. You know what I mean? I'd say a streaming service and a movie theater have nothing in common, because the thing that's special about a movie theater is being able to see it on that massive screen. Also, I think another part of why a movie theater is great and why opening right now isn't such a great idea is because one of the big reasons I love movie theaters is I love seeing movies with an audience. I loved seeing Avengers Endgame opening night and everyone cheering and clapping. Yes, I did have to see it again so I could actually watch the movie without that, but it's an experience to get that. You know, like in The Force Awakens and Star Wars The Force Awakens, when Han and Chewie show up and everyone's like, oh yeah, like that is an experience I want. When you go and see a Christopher Nolan in theaters, a Christopher Nolan film, and something happens and you feel a level of hush across the auditorium because something crazy happened. I love that. That is such a or a gasp when you're seeing a horror movie. That's why movie theaters are so great. That, and also, you know, the sound systems and the big screens. That's what makes it special. So opening a streaming service is totally not even the same thing. You know what I mean?
Right. I was just trying to see if maybe they were hedging their bets on that. I don't know. I was trying to work that into the equation. But when you're sitting in the theater now and people gasp, it's going to be a gas full of coronavirus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, go to a comedy in a theater and just laughing full of expectorant and coronavirus. Yeah. And that's just going to be landing all on the back of your neck.
Yeah. And, you know, it would be cool if these movie theater or if these movie companies, like if Warner Brothers was like, hey, listen, we know you can't stay open. We don't want to just donate money to you. Okay, we get it. We don't want to just donate money to you. But what we will do is we'll give you the streaming rights to this movie for 2 months. So then the only way people can watch this movie is through your streaming platform. And that way you can get some money going until you can reopen your theaters. Instead, now, because the movie... And listen, I understand where AMC is coming from. They don't want to close. They want to stay open. So, of course, they're going to try anything to open as early as possible. That's why I think the movie companies should stand up and help them stay open by maybe donating this movie to this streaming service. So that way they can get that money and they don't put the population at risk of getting sick. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, see, the thing is, I don't think that anybody at this point really understands the risk that they take for people around them. I'm working on a piece right now for my blog that I think the biggest mistake we made in this whole pandemic situation is telling young people that they're not greatly affected by this. And the businesses are playing into that. I just read a story online that a local grocery store had a employee that called in and said, hey, my family is sick. We all got signs of the virus. None of us have gotten tested yet, but I think it'd be safe if I stay home. And the grocery store manager said, no, come on in to work. Profits over people.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of that going on in our home state of Arizona. I've heard
profits over people.
Yeah, and I understand that in the normal sense, you know, when things are normal, yeah, profits are important and it's all fair game. But right now things are different. There's quite literally a plague out there. And
literally,
you know, I think maybe right now is the time to say, okay, let's just take a minute. Let's step back. We'll go back to normal next year or whatever when we get a vaccine or whatever the fuck, or the numbers just died down. But right now, let's just take a moment and work together. And I know that is just so hard for these motherfucking companies to do.
Oh, that's something that you'll never hear. Work together? What does that mean? Work together?
It's so frustrating because they're so concerned with these made-up currencies. Because straight up, that's what it is. It's made-up currencies by a government that doesn't care.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you 100%, man. This is AMC misstep. They tried to step back. I think the damage is done. I think they will survive this, but the damage is done. But don't overlook the fact that there is somebody at the top of AMC is saying, oh yeah, we misstepped. Oh yeah, people are boycott AMC, maybe trending on Twitter. But 9 months from now, 6 months from now, people aren't going to remember this. Something else is going to go on. And you know what? I'm going to prove it to you with 2 words. Murder hornets. Where'd they go?
Right. Yeah.
Because they know that this country is literally the dog seeing the squirrel. Well, the minute something else comes up, we've forgotten about everything else.
Yeah.
Squirrel!
It seems like that's not the case this time around, though. But
it's because we're in the thick of it, Jake. 6 months from now, bro, we are not going to be worried about AMC and their misstep. We're not. We're not going to care.
Yeah, that's true. Because I think deep down, no one really gives a shit about these companies.
Really gives a shit. When AMC opens their doors back up, they are going to see an influx of people that are going to go back to the theaters, just like we did with the bars, just like we did with the restaurants. They're going to see an influx of people that are going to go back. Why? Because they can. Simply put, just because they can.
Right.
No other reason. Not because they want to support a business, not because they want to support the entertainment industry, just because they can. Mm-hmm. You got people that are lining up outside of a rally right now.
Yeah.
Signing a waiver to say if I get sick, I get sick. Why are they going to the rally? Because they can.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. That's today, isn't it?
Yeah,
the
day that
rally.
we're taping this show. Yeah, 100%. It's just because we can. No one else gives a flying shit about people that they're going to potentially kill.
Right.
No one cares. So I do personally myself, I have to take additional precautions. From the beginning of this whole entire pandemic, bro, we've been on our own. So why would we expect any businesses? Why would we expect any restaurants? Why would we expect any? I mean, dude, here in Arizona, we've got restaurants that are closing back down. Apple just announced yesterday they are closing their Arizona stores again.
Good.
Because of the fact that the pandemic and the virus keeps spreading. The day that we're taping this show, 3,900 new cases. People aren't getting it. Why? Because they don't want to. It's not about politics. It's about the fact that we in America don't like to be told what to do unless it's a fucking federal or state law. And even now, we got people that are pissed off that you can get fined $350 or whatever it is for not wearing a mask. You've got to be one dumb son of a bitch if you end up getting a fine for not wearing a mask, because they're not going to give you that fine the first time you're caught. They're going to give you that fine when they keep having to tell your ass to wear a mask.
Right. And, and like you're saying, I don't really want to blame necessarily I do and I don't. Listen, because LA did it right, and they're like, we're going to just stay closed down until August. We're just going to stay locked down. And I understand where Arizona was coming from when they're like, we're just going to open back up, because what their hopes was hopefully you're smart enough to know if you're not feeling well, don't go outside. And if you're not feeling well, don't go to work. But these companies are saying you still need to come to work or we're going to fire you. People are still going to bars even if they have a cough. People aren't wearing masks. The hopes was that if we open up, people will be smart enough, and they weren't. And so
they're not.
Maybe we need that leadership to tell us, because people are just dumb.
Yeah, people are dumb, but then those same dumb motherfuckers are the same people that are saying, oh, government is too big, or government's too controlling.
Exactly.
Or government is do this, government is do, because you're stupid. You have to, Jake, do you realize that the concept of staying home when sick is not something that was developed because of the coronavirus?
Right.
That has been the case forever.
Yeah.
Why do people think that it's just because of the coronavirus that now I have to stay home because I'm sick? I stay home, I lose money. Well, dude, if you weren't fucking around earlier last year, killing off your fake relatives just to get a day off, or faking sick just because you had too much to drink the night before, your ass would probably have some vacation time to be able to stay home when you're actually sick. But no, you played the system, you fucked yourself, and now you lie about not being sick because you got to go to work to feed your family.
Well, and we've all been guilty of it. I can guarantee, we've all been guilty of having a little bit of a cold and still going into work. We've all been guilty of that. But, and what I think Arizona just implemented, I think a few years ago, that the companies are now required to give sick hours, which is great. That's fantastic, but people still aren't using them. And it's because companies are saying, you need a doctor's note. And right now, it's like, well, I can't get a doctor's note because if I don't have it, I don't want to risk going to the doctor and actually getting it. It's these companies, man. It's capitalism.
But then people also abused the forced sick time. People abused it, where they claim to be sick at a time where they weren't actually sick.
Yeah.
So when they actually do get sick, now they can't afford it.
Yeah. I think that's maybe a thing but it's so minimal because like the way it works is like after you work for 40 hours or every, what is it? Like every 20 hours you get 2 hours or something. So everyone should have the sick hours that they need. And there might be a couple people that abused it. But the thing is like right now it's like if you get sick, you need to stay out for 2 weeks. Yeah. And these companies are saying we can't lose an employee for 2 weeks. And I understand that, but also fuck you, dude. I don't want people to get sick. That's what I'm saying is like right now is not the time that capitalism needs to come first.
Yeah, and it's not like they're getting sick with the cold that if they do come to work, they're just going to, they'll spread a cold around. No, if you go to work or you go around other people that are sick, you're giving out death sentences.
Potentially, yeah.
You're not giving out, because you know how I worked in many corporate offices. When one person gets sick, it's a domino effect of people getting the cold, people getting the flu, people getting the sniffles.
Yep.
Well, this time the domino effect is just giving out death sentences and death certificates because people are dying.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. And we're seeing an influx of it in Arizona. Arizona specifically, we're kind of the new We're
number
LA.
one.
We're the new Seattle. We're the new New York. And it's because we're the best at everything in Arizona.
Yeah.
We're the best at getting sick.
We're number one.
My friend worked at IHOP, and she was telling me IHOP was just seating people right next to each other. They weren't spacing it out. They weren't doing any of that. They were just seating everyone next to it. And that's just the mentality in Arizona right now. And she quit that day. But that's just the mentality, is just, hey, if I get sick, I get sick, whatever, man. And that's just ridiculous, man, because there's people like nurses who, if they get sick, that's another lost nurse that we can't use to help with people that are actually sick.
Yep.
If someone like even me, if I get sick, I can't go to work and help my guys. I work with older people. I can't help them. And that would be horrible. And I have the potential of getting them sick, which isn't fair to them. So it's really, man, it's really frustrating living in Arizona right now.
And what's really sucks about this is the most selfish, self-entitled generation of people are responsible for the safety of the older population, the most vulnerable population. And because of their selfish, self-entitled upbringings, the young generation don't give two shits about this. I literally polled some college students. Are you concerned about getting sick? And the majority of them said, oh, we'll survive it. We'll be okay. It'll be rough, but we'll be okay. Same group of people, same group of students. Are you concerned about getting family members sick? Well, I haven't really thought about my family members getting sick.
Yeah.
They don't fucking get it.
Yeah.
Well, they don't care.
I'm in that group too. I'm a younger dude.
Yeah, but you're not in the 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
I'm not super young. But I do, in my mind, I think to myself, if I got it, I'd probably be fine. But I don't want to get it because I'm concerned about the people that are around me. I have
and that's what's
a
not
roommate.
happening.
I have the people I work with. I have other family members that I see on occasion. I don't want to get them sick. You know what I mean?
They don't get it, dude. They don't get it. It's the most selfish fucking thing ever right now. And honestly, it infuriates me. Because when you look at these videos online and you look at where people are gathering, young individuals in clubs and bars, lying, dude, they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't fucking care that they're going to kill off the generation of people that paved the road for where they are now.
Well, fuck them. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You know what I found interesting is, I have to go shopping from time to time for both my job and for my personal life.
Yeah.
So I have to put myself at risk a little bit here and there for that.
Don't worry. Castle Boutique, they're honoring self distancing. Castle Boutique is an adult store. Did you not know that?
I do, but I don't get the joke.
You have to go out shop. If I have to explain the joke, it's not funny.
Okay.
You have to go out shopping. So me mentioning Castle Boutique is the fact that you're going out to buy sexual aids.
Okay.
Is it funny now?
No, it's still not funny. Anyway, you look so defeated.
I'm not defeated. I'm just exhausted.
What's frustrating or what I find interesting is sometimes I have to go shopping over by my work, which is, I would say, a lower income area. So the store I go into, everyone in that store is wearing a mask. Everyone.
Nice.
Yeah, everyone's wearing a mask. Everyone's being very safe, keeping distance. If someone comes near another person, they back up and they're very respectful.
Good.
But then when I go shopping over by where I live, which I would consider sort of an upper class area, no one's wearing a mask.
Nope. Same thing in my area.
I walk in and I'm the only one wearing a mask. And I'm like, what the and I was thinking to myself, like, what is the reason for this? And I came to two conclusions. First conclusion is if you're wealthier, you just think you're impervious to everything. And you're just self-entitled. And everyone around, and to get to the top, you gotta take advantage of people. And you're seeing it a lot in Tempe, all these rich white kids who go to college at ASU. They're all going to bars. They're all going to clubs. They don't give a shit because they've never had to deal with anything before in their lives. Lower income areas, I think the reason you're seeing more people in the lower income areas wear masks and stuff, I think the big reason, and this is a systemic issue, is they don't have health insurance or they can't afford to get sick. So they're being very, very cautious. And that's a systemic issue.
I agree 100%. They're being way more cautious because of the fact that there's a segment of the population that cannot afford a hospital stay. And we're not talking about a couple of day hospital stay. We're talking about 2 weeks. And if you have to be ventilated when you go into the hospital, you just automatically jumped over to a 6-figure hospital bill.
Or an ambulance.
So the fallout from this next year is going to be the fact that there's going to be a rise in bankruptcies of people that are going to have to file bankruptcy to get from under unpaid medical bills.
Yeah.
It's going to be a struggle for them. So I can see that. In my area, in the North Glendale, North Phoenix area, I see the exact same thing. My fat ass ain't going into no grocery stores. I'm still doing grocery pickup. And I'm even weaning off of that a little bit, stretching out the food because, I'm starting to see that even some of the grocery store workers are starting to get a little relaxed. Mm-hmm. So even when I go to the grocery store and I pull up to the pickup area, I can see the front door. And for every 5 people I see, I am lucky if I see 2 mask wearers in my area where I live. Two mask people. I think it's going to come to the point where these companies, especially grocery stores, now that Arizona has mandated masks, it's going to get to the point where they're going to be turning people away at the door.
I hope so. But
I think people are going to start getting turned away at the door from not wearing a mask because the mask is not for you.
Right.
The mask is, and even when I go pick up groceries and I sit in my car and I never get out of my car, the most that I have to do is roll down the window and give the delivery guy a thumbs up that I agreed to all the substitutions they had to make. I'm even wearing a mask sitting in my car.
Right.
Because of not just for not just because I want to protect myself, but because I want to protect the guy that is doing his job to bring groceries out to my vehicle. And I sit there while I'm waiting on the guy to come out. People coming in and out of the store with no mask. The news media is even interviewing people. They did a man on the street interview in front of a grocery store up the street from my home. They interviewed one lady that was wearing a mask, and they interviewed another guy that wasn't wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And his reasoning for, I actually can't even repeat his reasoning for not wearing a mask because it made no sense.
Well, and the interesting thing is a lot of these people doing the interviews aren't wearing masks either.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's very true. This particular one that I'm referring to was because I could tell that the reporter was wearing a mask because of the way she sounded.
Yeah.
But for the most part, yeah, you could definitely tell when people that aren't on camera are not wearing a mask. They sound different.
Yeah. I think we can all agree, though, we don't want to wear a mask. No one wants to wear a mask, but it's just like, it's what we have to do. And people are saying like, well, what about the CO2 poisoning? And it's like, how long are you wearing the mask, bro? You could wear it all day at work for 8 hours, 12 hours. You'll be fine. We're not asking you to sleep with the mask on. When you get home, you can take your fucking mask off. When you're driving in your car, you can take your mask off. But like, Jesus.
I know, it's ridiculous. Can we end on something that's not COVID related?
Sure.
I bought a bamboo pillowcase.
Oh, how does that work?
It's amazing, dude. It's the softest pillowcase I've ever had in my life. So a couple of weeks ago, I found a little gnat in my bed, which of course sent my OCD in overdrive. So I decided to just strip my whole entire bed and buy all new pillows and all new sheets and blankets and everything else. And I was online and I was looking for pillowcases, and I found this bamboo pillowcase, and it has like little strands of bamboo in it or something of that nature. But dude, it is the softest, most elegant bamboo pillowcase. Now they're a little expensive. I ain't gonna lie, about $40 for a set of two. But it's so worth it. Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
When I hear bamboo, I just think of like bamboo sticks. I can't imagine that's comfortable.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine it either, but I saw it. I dropped the money on it, knowing that I could have gotten cheaper versions of a soft pillowcase. But no, dude, what I love about it is that it's cooling. There is nothing worse to me than laying in your bed and your pillow's hot. Or after you've been laying on it for a while, your pillow gets hot. No, this bamboo pillowcase has a cooling element built into the strands of it, so it keeps like this little low flow of air between your noggin and your pillow. So, and I love it. And I got these new Sealy Posturepedic firm pillows to go inside of these bamboo pillowcases. Bamboo pillowcases.
Not sponsored.
Not paid sponsorship. Don't get $1 for it. But highly recommended and fat guy approved.
Is it like actual bamboo? Like, is it hard, or is it like just strands of bamboo and it makes like a fabric?
I don't know what the technology is, but it's amazing. It's the best pillowcase I've ever owned in my life.
Well,
I don't know what the technology is. I haven't done a deep dive into it, and I don't plan on doing it. I just saw something that said classic bamboo pillowcase set. And I said, you know what? I'm going to splurge for it. It's a late birthday present to myself. It's an early Father's Day present to myself. Whatever.
Let's start a movement to get bamboo pillows to sponsor the show.
Bamboo pillowcases. Premium bamboo pillowcases available at your local pillowcase supplier.
I've been noticing my pillow really fucking sucks, man. I wake up every morning and my neck is just like killing me. And I buy like the nice, like, Tempur-Pedic pillows. I've tried like the softer pillows. I can never find the right pillow.
I have to go with a firm pillow. Because I'm fat and my head has to be, when I sleep, I'm almost at a 90-degree angle because my head has to be elevated. I can't sleep on soft pillows. Like I was telling a friend of mine, when I used to travel, I would go to a hotel, and while I'm checking in, before I even see the room, I'm requesting additional pillows. Hotels have some of the soggiest pillows, not in the wet sense, but just they just feel like a pile of wet paper towels in your hand.
Yeah.
And I always at checkout request additional pillows. Minimum 10 pillows. Minimum 10 pillows, because I'm going to stack at least 8 of them to make one comfortable pillow for me in a hotel. And then at home on my bed, I have a total of 10 pillows.
You ever think about how many people in a hotel lay on that pillow? How many people have put their head on that pillow?
Yeah, but this was pre-pandemic.
Well,
you should be more concerned about how many people have touched that remote control in that room, because the pillows get cleaned and disinfected way more than a remote control does.
That's a good point.
And also, folks, if you're not sanitizing your cell phones, you should be.
Yeah, that's true. Throw it in the washing machine.
Yeah, that's what I do with my iPhones all the time. Just chuck it in there with my drawers and my t-shirts.
I'll throw it in the dishwasher from time to time. You know, get a nice soak.
Hey, chlorine does a pretty good job on disinfecting your phone too. If you have a pool, just go ahead and boop, drop that sucker right in there. Boop. In the deep end, wait 30 minutes, fish it out. You're safe from corona.
Well, with that little piece of insight, I'd like
bamboo pillows.
I'd like to say, Cory, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
You're a good man. Everyone should check out the deep dive with Jake that we did, where we just talk about Cory Blaze, and he loves jerking himself off. So
I was not jerking myself off.
No, I thought it was a great episode. I thought it was very interesting. We got into some very deep topics.
Some insights.
Mm-hmm. And also check out the Loner Gamecast every Tuesday with that dreamy son of a gun, Nick Sapon.
I must say, Nick looked yummy on the last episode. No hat. I was like, oh, yeah, you can see those deep, weathered, weed-filled eyes.
We're going to have to get him on an episode of this show just so you guys can really bro out for a minute. And
yeah, it's not going to be a broing out, dude. It's going to be me literally throwing as much money at him as I possibly can.
Just you got your ones ready. You'll throw it at the screen because we don't do it in person anymore.
Ones? Nick Sapon is worth more than ones. I'll have 5s and 10s.
Ooh-wee.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
that dreamy son of a bitch.
Thanks for checking out the show. Cory, you're beautiful. Bye-bye.
Great job on doing the closing there, Jake. That was beautiful. I mean, I smell Emmy.
Thank you. I did all the plugs. Also, I've been Twitch streaming a lot.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to check out my Twitch streams, go to twitch.tv/lonercast, and you can watch my Twitch streams. We're having a lot of fun. We've been playing The Last of Us Part 2. It's good times. I just mainly, all I do on the streams is just talk shit about Cory, and it's a good time.
Yes, and I will be streaming me twitching every time someone comes around me.
I've been streaming in the bathroom a lot lately, so
I'll be watching.
Well, you know, because I was peeing. Pee stream.
Please end this goddamn episode.
So one more thing.
The Last of Us.
Bah, bah.
Oh, God.